Hi guys, welcome back to the show. So today we're going to have a look at 5 great fragrances that are a little bit under the radar, a little bit non-obvious. So I think that should be fun. Before we get into that, some of you have been saying to me, Mr. Smelly, why are you not on TikTok? A lot of the other fragrance people now are doing TikTok because it's the new blossoming form of social media. And I think some people kind of think, well, I'm a little bit older. Maybe I haven't really got the dance moves. I'm not really down with the modern music that you hear there. Well, guys, nothing could be further from the truth. And if you need proof of that, well, here it is. Come on and do the conga. It's conga night for sure. It's conga night, so join the party, everyone. The dancing's just begun, and we're all having fun tonight. Dance the conga till you drop. You're never gonna stop. You better hang on tight. So everybody do. Come on and do the conga. You. The train across the floor. You. Come on and do the conga. Do. It's conga night for sure. It's conga night, so feel the music and the beat. They're dancing in the streets. It's something that I can't explain. Bump together, 1, 2, 3, like waves across the sea. We'll join and make a chain, and everyone can do. Come on and do the conga. Choo, like a train across the floor. Do. Come on and do the conga. You. It's conga night for sure. And as you do the conga, you make the party stronger, make the chain much longer, and do the. Okay guys, so welcome back. Yes, today we're going to have a look at 5 less than obvious fresh fragrances that I think could be really worth having a look at. Today's video is brought to you with the collaboration of my friends over at Fragrance Samples UK. The link to their website is in the description. You can sample all of the fragrances in today's video there. And that is my recommended place if you are in the UK to get your fragrance samples. Fantastic range. I think they've got over 1,000 niche and designer fragrances. If you're not in the UK, of course, all the fragrances in this video should still be of interest. And sampling stuff is the way to go, really. Don't go blind buying things. Don't be too impulsive. Try things. Get 3, 4, 5 fragrances as something fun to look forward to at the weekend. Try them out. Get the one you like best. I do think it's a really good idea. Not enough of us actually put it into practice. Okay, so 5 fragrances today, and a real mixed bag here. We've got 1 clone, sorry, shoot me guys, a couple of rather affordable designer type fragrances, and some fancy pants niche stuffs too. All, I think, kind of fresh, but all kind of non-obvious fragrances, and maybe ones that you've not thought of, and that's what I try and bring on this channel. So let's get stuck into it. Okay, so the first fragrance that I want to share with you guys is L'Homme Rochas. L'Homme Rochas was released at the very beginning of 2020, and it's flown a little bit under the radar as far as I'm concerned. A really nice, versatile, fresh, masculine fragrance. It's got this blue bottle, and I think it got stereotyped a bit as maybe it's their tribute to Bleu de Chanel or that kind of thing, the so-called blue fragrances, but it's not really that close to those at all. It's definitely got loads of lavender. It's a really fresh, bright fragrance, but it's got character too. Very versatile. Kind of, I go on about my classic old school fragrance. It's not one of those at all, but it has this timeless elegance about it that I really like. The note listing for this one, well, there's no lavender listed, so there you go. It shows what I know, but I pick up on some. Anyway, blood orange, you've got pineapple, cardamom, geranium, basil, juniper, patchouli and tonka bean, and the perfumer is a man with a great reputation, Bruno Jovanovic. So I know Chris from the channel Scentland said great things about this, and I think Greg from the Greggieboy76 channel, who is also the man behind Fragrance Samples UK, also has a rather good opinion of this one, and he has a very discerning nose. So that's probably why it's on the Fragrance Samples UK website. There's a bit of sweetness about this, a hint of the exotic. I love the note of juniper, and it's a lovely kind of sweet and bitter at the same time, citrusy melange, I think, of notes. It's really, really good stuff, really, really classy, very, very versatile, kind of timeless. It doesn't smell like your typical synthetic shower gel modern blue fragrance. It doesn't smell like an old school fragrance. It's just got bags of character. And if you do go for a full bottle, I think you can find this one relatively affordable. So check it out. L'Homme Rochas 2020 release. By the way, guys, you might also want to check out Bon Viveur Watch Company. Greg at Fragrance Samples UK has started a new venture. He sells really high-end watches. I think it's Rolexes exclusively on there at the moment. They've just got an Instagram page. Go to Instagram, type Bon Viveur Watch Company if you're into watches or not. I can't afford the ones on there, but I'd really be grateful to you, personally, you watching this video, if you would just go there and click follow, just to get this great company off the ground. I know if he puts the same kind of passion into the watch thing that he does with his fragrance sample business, the same professionalism and care for the customers, it's going to be a really, really successful business. Okay guys, my next selection is from the house of Dua Fragrances, and a lot of people say, well, people never put their fragrances in their top 5 lists, but they make specific videos, so that shows they don't really rate them that highly. Well, I really do rate some of Dua's releases, and this one is Amalfi Coast. Now you can sample Dua's lineup, not all of them because there's millions of them, but there's a fair selection of their fragrances actually on Fragrance Samples UK, so bear that in mind if you've ever wondered about these but you didn't want to order a sample all the way from the USA or whatever. Amalfi Coast, it's their take on Creed's Jardin d'Amalfi, and that is an absolutely sizzlingly beautiful, fresh Mediterranean scent. And it's from the Creed L'Exclusives line, so even more expensive than your Inventuses and your Green Irish Tweeds and what have you. So it's really rather overpriced, I have to be honest, even though it's a beautiful, beautiful citrus aromatic scent. And here I've had a sample for a while now of the original, and I've put them side to side. I've only just got this a couple of days ago. It's very, very close indeed. Dua have done a really good job on this one. The note listing for the fragrance is mandarin, bergamot, pink pepper, petitgrain, cedarwood, apple, rose, Haitian vetiver, my favourite kind of vetiver, white musk, and you got cinnamon in there. So a really, really juicy, effervescent kind of fruit salad thing of beautiful citrus notes. Very much a fragrance that was designed to evoke the feeling of being by the Italian coast and all the flora and fauna and citruses that grow out there. And they're really, really beautifully captured in here. Creed do so many fantastic citrus aromatics, and this is right up there as one of the most exquisite unisex ones. Good thing about the Dua version here, if there's any tiny nuance of brilliance in the opening notes or whatever that they didn't capture, they've perhaps made up for that or overcompensated by the fact that this is concentrated very highly at extrait de parfum, and it really does perform exceedingly well. So, you know, not everyone thinks that clones are great, but, you know, if you like to be noticed and smell great and get compliments, I have found, in all honesty, Dua's stuff can really deliver that rather well. So Amalfi Coast from Dua, not one you've heard about from many other reviewers and well worth checking out. Let's see what's next. Well, now let's revisit one that I haven't talked about for a while on the channel. It's Bentley for Men Absolute, 2014 release from perfumer Michel Almerec, and that's significant because he was the man behind Gucci Pour Homme. I think that was a 2002 release, now sadly discontinued. I think that's also, if I'm telling you this and I haven't edited out, that is also available, vintage, discontinued, to sample on Fragrance Samples UK. Bentley for Men Absolute, I can now confirm, having got both and compared, is a superb tribute from the man who created the original himself to his own creation, which is, well, who can blame him? Who can argue with him doing that? The note listing, you've got ginger, pink pepper, olibanum, sandalwood, papyrus, moss oud, you don't pick up on oud, amber and cedarwood. It's a marvellously sort of, it's fresh in a woody way, it's clean, it's masculine, it's sophisticated, and it's something of almost like a pencil shaving thing that you sometimes get with vetiver. Strangely doesn't seem to be listed, but I'll swear there's some in there. Spicy a little bit too, there's a freshness from the pink pepper, but interestingly no citrus notes. So it's got this really classy, clean, woody, masculine aura about the fragrance, which is exactly what you got with the original Gucci Pour Homme, sadly missed by the people who remember wearing it. And it might not be such a cool house, maybe Bentley, great car to have, but not the fragrance house we all think of as one of the hot ones. But I like the bottle design, and it's a really, really good choice, still out there for great prices if you do opt for the full bottle. So Bentley for Men Absolute, it's a killer fragrance, it really is. I just picked it up for this video, first time in a while, and I remembered, yes, it's good. My next selection is a niche fragrance that I'm rather an advocate of, and this is Fiero from the House of Xerjoff. You may have heard me mention this before. Very few people seem to focus on this one. Neo from Xerjoff gets some talk, Renaissance in the citrus aromatic line. But I love Fiero. The note listing, I think it's Chris Maurice, the perfumer. You've got bergamot, lemon and lemongrass in the top, along with blood orange. There's thyme, lavender, lovely aromatic tones, estragon, mint, neroli, nutmeg, sandalwood, patchouli, vetiver and coumarin. And it's citrusy, yes, but it's got this greenness, and I think it's these aromatics. I particularly love that twist of mint. But that's not a note in the fragrance I'm now going to refer to, but this one also does remind me, and I've got a couple of bottles of it, of my vintage Dior Eau Sauvage, a fragrance which used to be amazing and is just very good now, but it used to be stunning when it had real oak moss and stuff in it. This is rather close to that, actually. It's kind of a lovely tribute to it. And it's just beautiful, classy, citrusy green, and if you like aromatic tones, these herbal things, the thyme, the lavender, the mint, the estragon, it gives it this depth and complexity, and it's just really, really well put together and absolutely classy. This is one of your more classic smelling fragrances, great for spring and summertime, but I would absolutely wear it all year round, and I get rather good performance from this one. Okay, now this one is another niche fragrance. The full bottle will cost you a lot, so check out a sample from Fragrance Samples UK, see if it works for you. I think this is superb. The House of Bortnikov are really known quite well for their oud fragrances, exotic creations, things like Mysterious Oud, Oud Lucum. They've got some really, really good fragrances, but I really like some of the fresh ones, and this is one of them, Moss Cologne. It was a relatively recent release, and look at that dark juice. It's not what you expect, piney green juice from Moss Cologne, but it's really, it's got the exoticism that we expect from perfumer Dmitry Bortnikov, a Russian perfumer now based in Thailand, but it's also got, the key thing here is it's got oak moss. I think 2 types of real oak moss are used, oak moss resinoid and oak moss something else. So that's not normally allowed in big quantities in IFRA compliant fragrances, but this fragrance ignores all that. They can still sell it. And therefore we've got the old school real oak moss that so many of us miss from the old school classic 80s fragrances, but also so much more going on in this one. Juicy sweet citrus in the opening, and a hint of this exoticism and lovely smooth woods, and there is some sweetness because there's a vanilla and a nice kind of tonka tone in the undertones or the base notes of this one. I'll give you the full note listing: bergamot, lemon, sweet orange, grapefruit, oak moss, violet leaf, jasmine, champaca, ylang ylang, nutmeg, ambergris. I'm not sure if it's real ambergris. I suspect it may be. Don't quote me. Atlas cedar, Virginia cedar. The difference between Atlas and Virginia cedar, by the way, guys, if you were wondering about that, I can answer you very simply. I haven't got a clue. Labdanum, tonka bean and vanilla in the base. So really, really classy, great stuff. I know the guys over at Wafts from the Loft were rather impressed with this one, and they really know their stuff with these small artisanal niche houses. Moss Cologne, if you're like me, you like your old oak moss fragrances. It's a legendary juice, this one, I think. It should be. It's not the most well-known house, so maybe it's not going to be legendary, but it perhaps deserves to be. Guys, let me know what you thought of my selections. Comment down below, and I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Don't forget to check them all out at Fragrance Samples UK if you're in the UK. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video, and remember, whatever we're doing in life, let's project. Bye-bye.